Well, hi, I'm Laura and welcome to the channel. What does it feel like when you go through a serious time in your life, something traumatic, and people that you thought were your friends, people you thought would be there for you, just don't show up? Well, welcome to the channel. I'm obviously not in my kitchen today. I am in Canada on Vancouver Island, the far western shores in a town called Tofino. If you want to check it out on a map, it's kind of a throwback town, still pretty rural, a little bit hippie, very secluded. You'll see as we walk down the beach, hopefully you'll be able to catch some of the surfers out here. I'm actually walking on Chesterman Beach. So maybe at the end of this video, I'll tack on a quick video showing you a little more of the scenery, but it's quite a haul to get here from Texas. Plane, train, automobile, no, plane, rental car, ferry, and then drove across the island to get to Tofino, but absolutely worth the drive. I will add one caveat. We actually come here, we've been here a couple of times, my husband and I, we come here to storm watch, and we have had the most glorious weather you have ever seen. So where did this topic come from? Well, it actually came from many of you who have shared that you went through a serious illness, maybe surgery, you needed the help of a friend, someone who you had been there for, and you just assumed, when you found out you were sick, when you found out you were going to be going through something, you heard from them right away. They reached out, whatever you need, whatever I can do for you, and then dead silence. And it's interesting because traumatic, serious times in our life, the illness, like I said, surgery, it could be a death, it could be divorce. It's in those times that we often are let down by people who are in our circle, but yet they just weren't there for us, and we quite honestly can't figure out why. And so there's a little bit of hurt, there's a little bit of disappointment. And what really got me thinking about this, I got a call when I landed here on Sunday from a friend I've known for 24 years. We were neighbors for a very long time, raised our children on the same street. She and her husband have since moved away, but her husband died the other day very quickly, very unexpectedly. And when I got that phone call, my immediate reaction was, what can I do? How can I help? Here I am in Canada, and even when I get home, it's going to be a good hour and a half drive, hour and 45 minutes to get to her house. But I have learned that you don't overpromise and underdeliver, because what ends up happening is in that moment when we want to help, we want to be there, we want to say all the right things, we can find ourselves saying the wrong thing because our intentions are great, but our ability to come through and to deliver, just isn't there. So several months ago, I did a video because a friend, a very old friend, called me to let me know that they had cancer and would be going through a pretty large battle, chemotherapy, radiation. And so I reached out through the YouTube channel because I live very far away. She's on the East Coast. And I asked the question, what can I do to help her during this really terrible time, to be supportive? Because I can't just jump on a plane every week. And your recommendations were wonderful. And what I found through that process is that just sending a card, sending a DoorDash certificate, maybe flowers, just not forgetting the person, checking in with them periodically, sending a sweet text, writing a letter. Some of those old-fashioned things that we just don't do anymore, because what I realized is I told my friend, I'm here for you. Let me know what I can do. I know I'm far away. She said, I will let you know. I feel like I have she felt like she had a really good support system. And so I actually went into it thinking she would reach out. And what you told me and what other friends told me that I spoke to was, she's not going to reach out. She is in I'm going to call it a black hole. Her life has now stopped. And everything in her life is about getting through what she's dealing with, day in and day out, getting to the doctors, trying to feel better, making sure she has the right medicine, doing what the doctor tells her. And that really made an impact on me, because we think that if we offer, that we'll hear from our friend, whatever they're going through, a divorce, a sickness, we'll hear from them and that they will let us know what they need. But they don't have the bandwidth to let us know what they need. Family's often different. You have a different kind of relationship with family. But friends can get very hurt and very disappointed when the people they thought they could really count on turn out to be the people that jumped in, both feet, offered the world, and they never heard from them again until they were all better, back out and doing their, normal life, normal activities. And some of these women, I have to say, maybe a little controversial, but I think women get caught up in the drama of what has happened, right? Spilling the tea. Oh, did you hear? Oh my gosh, how did it happen? What is she going to go through? How's she going to deal with it? I think you find that especially in divorce. I've talked to many women. I'm divorced. I was divorced back in, 2003, I think. And I honestly was very careful about who I even told, because I didn't want to have any expectations. I didn't want to share too much, because divorce can be all over the place, right? There's no rhyme or reason. Everyone who's been divorced has had a different experience. Some women need a shoulder to cry on. Some women prefer to go get professional help. Some women go to their church. Some women want to be alone. It's all over the place. And I had little children, and for me, I wanted to work through it privately. And that's what I chose to do. But I have run into so many women in my own community, women that are at events that I speak at, who have shared with me that their friends just kind of disappeared when they started going through that whole separation. And often, a lot of it depends on your friend group, right? Were you friends because you and your husband, it was couple friendships? Do you live in a small town? Do you live in a large town? Sometimes people don't even know that you're getting divorced. In a small town, word travels fast. But I was thinking how similar it is to getting sick, because you're not yourself. The person they knew in the life that you all live, that normal ebb and flow, when it changes, some people step up and some people don't. And it's okay to be hurt, and it's okay to be disappointed. I've talked several times to my friend back east. She is in remission. She fought the good battle. She's doing great. But she has shared with me how the women that really came through for her, that dropped off the meals, that sent her cards, that dropped by the house with a little bouquet of flowers, were women that it never dawned on her would reach out the way that they did. Just the kindness, it really melted her heart. But the women that she thought would be there for her, the women that she saw frequently through sports, through activities, she didn't hear anything from them other than that original, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has happened. Let me know what you need. It's just, we need to understand that people aren't going to tell us what they need. Even if you've been there for them, it throws everyone out of sorts. And I think there's a good lesson to be learned, whether you've been the person that let a friend down or someone has let you down. We're all imperfect, of course, but I think there's an easy, comfortable way to deal with a friend that is going through something life-changing, gut-wrenching, unexpected, emotional. You can be there for them without over-promising and under-delivering. So I learned a lot from the comments that many of you shared with me on that video about that phone call that we all dread, and a friend shares some news with us that just changes your relationship forever. And it did really remind me of my friend that's going through the loss of her husband right now, and my friend who went through cancer. Because as we get older, we're going to be having more of those telephone calls, unfortunately. Divorce. Divorce. I'm going to do a video on divorce and what it's like to get divorced when you're in your late 40s, mid 40s, 50s, 60s, because the person you were, the couple that everyone got to know in your community, social events, is gone. And a lot of people don't know how to deal with that, and they just want to separate themselves. And so I think for women, when we don't know what to do, we let a little bit of panic set in and we don't do anything. It's almost like that freeze effect. I don't know what to do, so I won't do anything. I just think it's tough getting let down by people that you thought were friends because they didn't know how to deal with what you were going through. And I always say, have a little bit of empathy, right? And we all get over it. I mean, at the end of the day, we all deal with our grief. We get through our divorces. Hopefully we become healthier after an illness. But it definitely colors how we look at the other person going forward. Well, I appreciate you stopping by the channel and watching today, and hopefully got a little bit of beautiful Tofino behind me. Lots of people out here walking their dogs. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye. So beautiful Chesterman Beach, Tofino, British Columbia. And hopefully I've got this set up so you can hear the waves. They're not that big, but they're constant. It's just beautiful. If I had a better camera, I'd show you the snow-peaked mountains, and oh, the evergreens come right up to the beach. And the houses along the beach are just buried in beautiful, tall evergreens. Well, if we get a storm later this week, I will be out here to get some storm footage. That would be fun. This is a great place for storm watching. I think that's why most people come here, but as you can see, the good weather has followed us. Take care. See you in a couple of days.